Imagine this. You're a poor young man, struggling to survive. One night, a stranger places a heavy bag of gold in your hands and says, "Lie for me, and half of this will be yours." What would you do? Most people would take the gold, but this young man refused. He chose truth over wealth. Yet his honesty didn't bring him reward at first. Instead, he was dragged to prison, accused of crimes he never committed, and stood before the governor as his life hung by a thread. What happened next will shock you and prove the timeless words of Hazratali, may Allah be pleased with him. Honesty will guide you to goodness, and goodness will invite you to heaven. Stay with me till the end, because this story will shake your heart and maybe even change your life. He refused gold for the truth, and Allah raised his honor. Hazratali, may Allah be pleased with him. Wisdom. The sun was setting behind the ancient walls of Kufa, its golden light spilling over the dusty streets. Merchants rushed to close their stalls, children chased each other barefoot, and travelers hurried to find shelter before nightfall. Among them walked a young man named Salem, a cloth merchant's son, known throughout the market for one rare quality, his honesty. People often said, if Salem swears something is true, then it is true. His tongue does not know how to lie. But Salem's honesty was not born of convenience. It was born of conviction. His late father had once whispered to him on his deathbed, "My son, never let dishonesty stain your soul. A lie may give you bread for today, but it will steal your faith tomorrow." Those words burned into Salem's heart. Yet honesty, as noble as it was, did not bring him riches. While other merchants tricked customers with false weights or mixed poor cloth with fine, Salem refused to do so. Many nights he returned home with little to eat. His widowed mother sometimes sighed in worry, but she never asked him to change. Instead, she would tell him, "Salem, Allah is with those who are honest, even if the world turns against them." One fateful evening, as the market quieted, a stranger approached Salem. He was tall, cloaked in black, with eyes sharp like an eagle. "Are you Salem, the cloth seller?" he asked. "Yes," Salem replied. The stranger leaned closer. "I have heard you are a man who never lies. I want you to do something for me." Salem hesitated, sensing danger in his tone. "What is it?" The man placed a heavy pouch of gold into Salem's hand. The weight of it almost bent his wrist. "Carry this and deliver it to a house outside the city. Say nothing of it. If anyone stops you, tell them it is your own money. Do this, and half of this gold will be yours." For a moment, the glitter of wealth dazzled Salem. He imagined his mother's relief, his debts cleared, and his life transformed. But then Hazrat Ali's words often repeated in the sermons he attended, echoed in his mind. "Honesty will guide you to goodness, and goodness will invite you to heaven." Salem's heart tightened. If he accepted, he would have to lie. The man wanted him to deny the truth. But what if refusing meant angering someone powerful? "I cannot lie," Salem finally said, placing the pouch back into the stranger's hands. "Even if this gold could buy me a kingdom, I will not speak of falsehood." The stranger studied him for a long moment, then smirked. "Very well. Perhaps one day, Salem, you will realize that the world does not reward honesty." He disappeared into the night, leaving Salem shaken but firm. Days passed, and whispers spread across Kufa. A caravan had been robbed, its treasures stolen, and the governor's men were searching for the culprits. To Salem's horror, one evening soldiers burst into his small shop. One of them shouted. "You were seen speaking with a suspicious man the night of the robbery. Come with us." Before Salem could defend himself, his arms were tied, and he was dragged through the streets like a criminal. Neighbors whispered, some pitying him, others doubting. His mother's cries echoed in the alley as he was thrown into the governor's prison. In the darkness of the cell, despair gnawed at him. "Ya Allah," he whispered, tears streaming down his face. "I chose honesty. Why has it led me here? Did I not trust in you?" But even in fear, he resolved, "I will not lie to save myself. If my death comes, it will come with truth on my tongue." The next morning, he was brought before the governor of Kufa. The court was crowded, eyes watching, waiting for his words. The governor, stern and powerful, asked, "Salem, do you know this man?" He gestured to a hooded figure standing beside him. To Salem's shock, it was the same stranger who had offered him gold. "Yes," Salem said firmly. Gasps filled the hall. The stranger's eyes widened. "And did he offer you gold to deliver a pouch?" "Yes." "And what did you do?" "I refuse because I will not lie, even for all the gold of the world." The court buzzed with murmurs. The governor's eyes narrowed on the stranger. "And you, what do you say to this?" The man stammered, denied, cursed, but the weight of Salem's honesty shattered his defense. Soldiers searched his belongings and found proof of his crimes. The thief who had robbed the caravan was unmasked. The governor turned to Salem, his voice softer now. "You chose honesty, though it could have cost you your life. What made you refuse?" Salem bowed his head. "Because the commander of the faithful, Hazrat aliibnabitalib, may Allah be pleased with him, said, 'Honesty will guide you to goodness, and goodness will invite you to heaven.' If I lie, I may escape this court, but how will I escape Allah's judgment?" Tears glistened in the governor's eyes. He rose and declared, "By Allah, this young man has spoken the truth. Free him, and let all Kufa know that Salem, the son of the cloth merchant, is innocent." The crowd erupted with cheers. Salem walked out of the court, his mother waiting to embrace him, her tears soaking his shoulders. From that day, his name spread not as a poor merchant, but as Salem the Truthful. His business flourished, for people trusted him blindly. Travelers sought him out, saying, "If Salem sells it, it must be true." But more than wealth, Salem earned something greater. The peace of knowing he had remained steadfast on the path of truth, even when tested by fire. And often at night, as he sat beside his mother, he whispered the words that had saved him. "Honesty will guide you to goodness, and goodness will invite you to heaven." My brothers and sisters, Salem's story teaches us something timeless. The world may tempt us with gold, with lies, with shortcuts. But remember Hazrat Ali's words. Honesty guides you to goodness, and goodness calls you to Jannah. Never trade your honesty for the world, because what is lost for Allah is never truly lost. Subscribe now to Deen in Minute for more stories that touch your heart and strengthen your faith.